Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. Just became the son of Yaoji. Tell me this is Fengshen Crossing through the realm of Fengshen and becoming the eldest son of Yaoji. His mother was imprisoned under the Peach Mountain at the beginning. Fortunately, awaken the golden finger, excavate the treasure system, walk through the wilderness, and excavate endless treasures. Digging treasures at Mount Emei, unearthing the power of divine elephants to control prisons. Digging treasures at the Donghai Dragon Palace and uncovering the body of the ancestral dragon. Digging for treasures on Mount Bu Zhou, uncovering the essence and blood of Pangu. Years later, take Yang Jian and directly enter the Lingxiao Palace. I dare to change the position of the Jade Emperor. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. My mother is the fairy Yaoji. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Big brother, don't die. Big brother, you can't leave Chana alone. A burst of crying echoed in his ears, causing Chen Hao, who was originally asleep, to wake up in an instant. Damn it, what's the situation? Why is there a woman crying in her room? Chen Hao thought to himself. Then he opened his eyes, but in the moment he opened them, what entered his eyes was a crying girl with tears on her face. Lying trough. What situation is this? Why does a girl appear in my room? Chen Hao thought of it. Wait. Chen Hao looked around and found himself in a cave. What exactly happened? How could I appear here and have a young girl by my side? And this girl, her face is completely as beautiful as a fairy. This fairy, dare you ask where this place is? Chen Hao asked. And the crying girl was naturally surprised when she saw Chen Hao waking up, and then rushed forward. Big brother, I'm the third sister Chana. What's wrong with you? The girl looked at Chen Hao with tears in her eyes, who had a surprised expression on her face. Third sister. Chana. Watching the young girl fall into his arms. Chen Hao had a bewildered expression on his face. Ah. Just as Chen Hao was about to ask a question, a headache came over him, and at the same time, memory fragments appeared in his mind. After a moment, Chen Hao woke up again. Based on fragmented memories in his mind, Chen Hao learned about his current situation. He actually traveled through time, and for him in the 21st century, the word time travel is naturally very familiar. And the world he traveled through was actually a wasteland. Wilderness, that was a time of creation, and also a world where countless immortals and demons existed. And his identity is also questionable. The son of Yaoji. Yang Jian. This person's information is rarely recorded. However, his younger brother and sister were well known during the era of the gods. Yang Jian, the judicial deity who will dominate the three realms in the future, and the Holy Mother, the Lord of Mount Hua. Why can't you become possessed by Erlang God? Yang Jian is the son of the divine mandate in the era of enfeoffment. Backed by the great school of elucidating sages, one's own luck is also invincible, which is a perfect template for the protagonist. On the other hand, Yang Jiao is a character that has not been mentioned in any novel, as if he had died a long time ago. Ah, Chen Hao sighed helplessly. Since he had already arrived, he had to accept his fate. From today on, there is no Chen Hao in the world, only Yang Jiao. A thought appeared from him, and in an instant, a suppressed breath disappeared from him. Suddenly, Yang Jiao felt incredibly comfortable all over. Is this the path in the dark? Yang Jiao thought to himself, after all, he was a presence who had traveled from the future and could be considered a stowaway. Now that he has dissipated, he can be considered to have an ID card. At this moment, a young girl walked into the cave entrance and came to the awakened Yang Jiao with a few wild fruits in her arms. Big brother, you're awake. I've beaten some wild fruits, please eat some to recover your health, she said. Yang Jiao looked at the young girl and found several scars on her body, naturally understanding that she had scratched it for picking wild fruits for himself. I am naturally moved in my heart. You should know that in his past life, he was a lonely family. Now, he has traveled through time and not only has a mother, but also a younger sister and brother. As for that father, Yang Jiao was disdainful. He knew that Yang Tianyu was a disciple of the West, and his alliance with Yaoji was a conspiracy in the West. That's it. 3 days later. Under Yang Chan's care, Yang Jiao has also recovered some injuries. Big brother, where are we going next? My mother was also taken away by the fairy, and my second brother and father also disappeared. Where are we going? Yang Jiao couldn't help but think. My own mother, Yaoji, will naturally be suppressed under the Peach Mountain if she is taken away. As for Yang Jian, there is no need to worry at all. I believe that at this moment, Yang Jian has already joined the sect of the Jade Ding Immortal and started cultivating immortals. Ding! Congratulations to the master for surviving for 3 days. The treasure mining system is enabled. Just as Yang Jiao was thinking about where he would take Yang Chan next, a voice rang out in his mind. Upon hearing this sound, Yang Jiao's body trembled. Line trough. The golden finger is online. As a traveler, Yang Jiao naturally understood what the sound in his mind represented. The scenes in the novel are indeed true. The essential golden finger for travelers, don't deceive me. He was originally thinking about how to survive in this world where immortals and demons coexist, but now that he has these golden fingers, what are he afraid of? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. First treasure digging. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yang Jiao's body was trembling slightly with excitement. Golden finger. The standard accessory for the traveler, gold finger, has finally arrived. Moreover, it seems that my golden fingers are still the worst type, the system. Yang Jiao's face was filled with excitement. With his golden fingers, he at least had the power to protect himself in this chaotic and desolate world. Even if one cannot become an immortal and ancestor, becoming a powerhouse in this dangerous world. Ding, congratulations master, the treasure mining system has been successfully launched. The cold mechanical sound echoed in Yang Jiao's ears, but for him now, it was the most touching heavenly sound in the world. The system has finally started. Welcome to the treasure mining system. A curious expression appeared in Yang Jiao's eyes, wondering what the treasure digging system was actually doing. What is the correct way to open this golden finger? Seemingly sensing Yang Jiao's inner doubts, the system took the initiative to dispel his doubts and said, the treasure digging system is dedicated to helping the owner find treasures in this world. The system will prompt the owner for opportunities in the wilderness, and the owner can follow the system prompts to go to places with organic opportunities to dig treasures. Yang Jiao nodded, somewhat understanding. Immediately, he felt a little excited. The system will prompt you for opportunities and you only need to dig for treasures. Isn't this just sending the opportunity to oneself? Opportunities that others cannot pursue are easily obtainable by oneself. This feeling is a bit refreshing. After figuring out the functions of the treasure digging system, Yang Jiao only felt comfortable all over. Others have traveled through the wilderness and struggled to find opportunities, but they can follow the guidance of the system to search for treasures and dig up those precious treasures. The feeling of delivering this treasure to your door is really amazing. At this moment, the crisp and cold sound of the system rang out again. Ding, discover a treasure trove. Yang Jiao's eyes lit up, and a gleam appeared in his eyes. Can we dig treasures so quickly? What are you waiting for? He immediately stood up and led Yang Chan, following the system's guidance, towards the place where treasure could be excavated. His excited expression startled Yang Chan. Yang Chan didn't know how Big Brother was supposed to be so excited suddenly. Yang Jiao also noticed Yang Chan's abnormality, smiled, and comforted her, saying, "Little sister, don't be afraid. We can also have a glimmer of hope in the future amidst the chaos." In the end, guided by the system, the two of them arrived at a valley. This valley is lush and covered with green plants. Between the peaks and valleys, there seems to be a faint and mysterious atmosphere circulating. A faint golden light permeated the valley. At first glance, Yang Jiao felt that this place was absolutely unusual. If he had to say anything, it was a place with a precious appearance. "That's it here," he murmured and looked at the aperture that appeared at his feet, excited. And Yang Chan looked at his painting, excitedly staring at the ground and feeling a little curious. "Big brother, what are you looking at?" Yang Jiao was taken aback and then said, "There is an aperture on the ground, can't you see it?" "On the ground? Aperture?" Yang Chan stared at the ground for a while before finally frowning and shaking her head. "No, big brother, did you read it wrong?" Yang Jiao understood that only he could see this aperture, and others couldn't see it at all. "I believe this is also a function of the system. However, this is a good thing, at least you don't have to worry about others competing for treasures with you. Ding, congratulations to your master. Have you arrived at the place where you can dig treasures? Do you want to dig treasures? So what else is there to say?" Yang Jiao immediately said yes in his heart. Immediately, a golden shovel appeared out of thin air in his hand. Yang Jiao didn't rush to dig for treasure, but first looked at the shovel. The material seemed a bit special, but apart from that, there seemed to be no other difference, just an ordinary shovel. Can this thing really dig treasures? Yang Jiao expressed doubts about this. But he had no other choice now. He swung the golden shovel and vigorously dug up on the ground marked by the aperture. Yang Chan stood aside, somewhat puzzled. "Big brother, what are you digging for?" "You'll know later." Yang Jiao is working hard to dig treasures, so naturally he doesn't have the time to answer Yang Chan's words. Yang Chan, on the other hand, frowned at her beautiful little face, feeling a bit confused. "Big brother, what's going on? Why has it become so strange today? Not only do they say strange things, but they also do strange things. Well done, why suddenly dig something? Is there anything to eat in the soil?" At the same time, a figure appeared in the nearby void. The person, dressed in a blue Taoist robe, appeared from the void with a curious gaze, as if searching for something. After a moment, he finally set his gaze on the land beside Yang Jiao and Yang Chan. It is the land that Yang Jiao is currently working hard to excavate. Where is the chance? This person frowned slightly, as if someone had taken the lead. But for a moment, his eyebrows relaxed again. Even if someone gets ahead and takes the lead, it doesn't matter. If the opportunity is really worth it, it's best to exchange it with other treasures. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. Intercepting the senior brother of the outer sect, Zhao Gongming. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Immediately, this figure came into the air and landed over Yang Jiao and his sister, preparing to observe what the opportunity was. Around him, a strong aura emanated faintly, and he stood there, with the surrounding void slightly shaking. In fact, if there were other immortals here, they could definitely recognize this figure at a glance. This person is a powerful and renowned expert, who intercepts the teachings of the senior brother of the external sect, Zhao Gongming. A strong person from the sage lineage and the great Luojin fairyland. Zhao Gongming was originally traveling through the wilderness, searching for opportunities. Passing by this place, he sensed the appearance of a sense of opportunity. So he followed the aura of chance and found it here. The aura of chance that could disturb him must not be an ordinary thing. Zhao Gongming was full of interest in this opportunity. At the same time, Yang Jian is also working hard to excavate. Finally, something was dug up. He wiped the sweat off his forehead and looked happy. What appeared in the pit was a shimmering 7-colored medicinal herb. This medicinal herb looks like ginseng, with many whiskers. There are 7 colors circulating on it, and there is also a mysterious atmosphere that is stirring and diffusing. This is definitely a precious medicine. The fragrance of the medicine spread, and Yang Jiao's heart was filled with excitement as he wanted to swallow this medicinal herb. But he was restrained by his strong self-control. He understood that he was just an ordinary mortal now. If he really couldn't control himself and swallowed this medicinal herb, he was afraid that he would explode and die the next moment. After a hard and arduous journey, he didn't want to be the saddest traveler, as he was overwhelmed on the first day of his journey. However, this is a good thing. You can accept it for now and make plans later. Just as he was about to step forward and collect this medicinal herb, a figure suddenly descended from the void. It's Gongming. His gaze fell on the 7-colored treasure medicine, and his heart was excited, almost unable to control itself. When he was in the cloud, he had already made a decision. If this opportunity is just an ordinary treasure, then turn around and leave. But if this opportunity is a good thing, then we need to find a way to exchange it for that treasure. Unexpectedly, this precious medicine has emerged here. This is exactly the treasure he has traveled through the wilderness and diligently pursued. The reason why he traveled through the wilderness is because his cultivation has reached a bottleneck, and it is difficult to break through hard work. Therefore, he thought of finding some opportunities in the wilderness. The precious medicine dug out by Yang Jian is exactly the one that is useful to him and can help him cultivate. He is currently in the middle stage of cultivation of the Luo Jin Xian. If he can take this precious medicine, he can definitely advance to the later stage of the Luo Jin Xian. This is exactly the realm he has been pursuing. At this moment, Gongming was determined to take this treasure into his hands no matter what. He looked at Yang Jian and Yang Chan, then furrowed his brows slightly. The 2 mortals. This shouldn't be. Can 2 mortals perceive the aura of opportunity and excavate such a precious medicine? Gongming was a bit incredulous, but after some deduction, the conclusion he came to was still correct. The 2 little guys in front of him were really just 2 ordinary people. However, the background is a bit complicated. This Gongming didn't know what to say anymore. Are ordinary people nowadays so unlucky? The treasure that I had been searching for was discovered by 2 mortals. While Gongming looked at Yang Jian and Yang Chan, Yang Jian also looked at him. And Yang Chan, out of fear, leaned tightly against Yang Jian, who reached out to protect her behind her. Although, he's also very panicked now, okay. The Taoist in front of me, dressed in a Taoist robe, exudes a majestic aura, with an astonishing aura flowing all over him. And he emerged from the void. Such a person, not a fairy or something. He nervously swallowed his saliva, but to his surprise, he dug up a treasure and unexpectedly attracted a fairy. He glanced at the colorful treasure medicine in his spare time. It was really a treasure, attracting immortals. It's over. Look at this person who is still very interested in that medicinal herb. This is not to be robbed. If you're robbed, you should be robbed. Don't harm our lives. Faced with a fairy, Yang Jian had no choice but to pray in his heart, hoping that the fairy would have some principles and seize the treasure, but never kill anyone. Gongming naturally noticed his small movements and couldn't help but laugh, then spoke up and reported his background. This young friend, I am a disciple of the Holy One of Shangqing, under the sect of Zhejiao, Gongming. This treasure is of great use to me. Could you please give up this treasure? As soon as one word is spoken, a stone shatters the sky. I'll strangle it. Yang Jian was momentarily confused. Is this person in front of him Gongming? If it were the indigenous mortals of this world, perhaps they wouldn't know the name Gongming. But he's different, he's a traveler. The name Zhao Gongming is naturally thunderous. After being confused, it's a surprise. You should know that Zhao Gongming is a senior brother from a foreign sect, with extremely strong and impressive cultivation. I didn't expect to meet him here by chance. It seems that this must be fate. In addition to his surprise, Yang Jian had already thought of a plan in his heart. If this plan is successful, he and his third sister can also settle down in the wilderness. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. To survive, one naturally needs a support. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This strategy is to apprentice. Honghuang is a dangerous world where the law of the fittest prevails. Here, the only principle upheld is to respect the strong. In such a chaotic and dangerous world, as an ordinary person, he cannot survive at all. Moreover, he also has to take care of his sister Yang Jian. Therefore, in order to survive in the wilderness, he must find a strong enough support. If the support is not strong enough, according to the intensity of the fierce fighting in the wilderness, it is uncertain that one day both oneself and the support will be killed. The hardest support in the wilderness is nothing more than under the 4 religions and 6 saints. The best choice is, of course, to have someone teach you at your doorstep. Although Tai Shang is quiet and indifferent, he is still the leader of the 6 saints with strong strength. The saints are all younger brothers in front of him, so of course, such a support is strong enough. Unfortunately, the Supreme Sage does not accept disciples, and there is only one disciple under the sect, Xuangong. So it's preaching. Unfortunately, although elucidation is good, I probably don't like him. Zhanjiao is also a sage's teachings, established by the Yuanshi heavenly sovereign of the Jade Qing sage, and is the winner of the divine and divine tribulations. Joining the Chan teachings is like rowing along the way, you can also win by lying down. This choice is certainly good, but unfortunately, it emphasizes the importance of following one's footsteps and luck when recruiting students. I am just a mixed race of personal gods, barely considered a semi-divine body, so such a follower naturally cannot enter the eyes of the teachings. As for luck, Yang Jian gave a bitter smile. If he hadn't crossed over, his original body would have hiccuped long ago, and he had a fart like luck. Although I crossed over and replaced my original self, changing my original trajectory, I probably couldn't meet the requirements of elucidation. The reason why Yang Jian, the second younger brother, was able to join the Chan sect and become the 3rd-generation disciple of the Chan sect is because he was the vanguard official of the Western Qi, carrying the great fortune of heaven, and the invincible god of war in the future. Is this something he can compare to? Helplessly, the choice of elucidation can only be abandoned. So, that's all we have left. Intercepting education and accepting apprentices is not about following one's luck. After all, the leader of the Tongtian sect adheres to the principle of education without discrimination, cutting a thread of vitality for the world and the living beings. All things in the world are viewed equally. The difficulty of becoming a member of the intercepted church is much smaller than that of becoming a member of the explanatory church. Not only that, but most of the disciples of Zhejiao also value loyalty, which is why in the process of sealing gods and measuring tribulations, Zhejiao disciples die one by one. This kind of interception naturally inspired Yang Jian to pursue it. Although the Fengshen Liangjie Zhejiao failed and its disciples made it to the list, the flourishing Zhejiao of the 10,000 immortals came to court and dissipated, ultimately leading to its downfall. But that's just the original direction. He, as a traveler, has arrived and naturally needs to do something to change the tragic fate of the original mission. As for Western religion, it was directly overlooked by Yang Jian. Leaving aside the sinister and shameless personalities of those 2 Westerners, it should be noted that in the future, Western Buddhism will transform into Buddhism, and Yang Jian does not want to become a monk. As for the sage Nyua, she has not even established a great religion, let alone become a disciple. After much contemplation, it is only possible for Zhao to accept himself. Now that there is an opportunity, Yang Jian naturally will not give up. He made up his mind and looked firmly at Zhao Gongming. I've seen a fairy before. If the fairy needs this item, take it. Zhao Gongming was taken aback for a moment, and was immediately somewhat surprised. Although this person was an ordinary person, observing his agile eyebrows and eyes, it is impossible not to know the preciousness of this treasure. But even so, he still presented the treasure directly without any hesitation. This ordinary person is decisive and can also speak. But Zhao Gongming won't take this precious medicine for nothing. This precious medicine can help him break into the later stage of the Great Luo Golden Immortal Realm, but it is a significant cause and effect. If he really takes this precious medicine, there will inevitably be a cause and effect between him and this mortal. And causality itself is an extremely mysterious thing, even saints should pay attention to. If one is truly entangled in cause and effect, it will be harmful but not beneficial to practice in the future. So he shook his head and said, although I need this treasure, I will not take it for free. If you have anything you want, just say it. Within our capacity, we will naturally satisfy you. If you say that, then I won't be tired anymore. Yang Jian immediately knelt down and said, I want to worship the Immortal as my teacher. Please accept me as a disciple. Accepting apprentices. Zhao Gongming was taken aback for a moment, then looked at Yang Jian and found that his luck was also good. After thinking about it, he agreed to Yang Jiao's request. After all, without giving anything, one can obtain a precious medicine that can help him break through to the later stage of the Great Luo Golden Immortal, and there is also a good disciple. For him, this is very cost-effective. I pay my respects to my master. Yang Jian was overjoyed and successfully joined Zhao Gongming's sect. He would be safe in the wilderness. At least you don't have to worry about your own life safety. Subsequently, Zhao Gongming took down the precious medicine and was about to leave with Yang Jian. Yang Jian glanced at Yang Chan, gritted his teeth, and asked, May I ask if master can take my little sister under his command? Upon hearing this, Zhao Gongming looked at Yang Chan, only to find that her qi was even stronger than Yang Jiao's, and he naturally felt tempted. Unfortunately, he discovered the destined cause and effect between master and disciple in Yang Chan. So he shook his head and said, she has already hit her master, so naturally someone will come to take her disciple. Upon hearing this, Yang Jian nodded in confusion, saying that he remembered in mythological legends, who was the master of his own little sister. Nu Wasage. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. 9 Transformations of Xuangong and the Method of Becoming a Sage. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Thinking about this clearly, Yang Jian didn't panic anymore. According to the abilities of the sage Nu, she will definitely have arrived at her sister's place long ago and send someone to pick her up. Yang Chan's master is much more powerful than her own master, so there's no need to worry. He breathed a sigh of relief, and then Zhao Gongming left with Yang Jian and Yang Chan, rushing to his own dojo. At the same time, beyond the 33 heavens, the majestic Hua Palace stands tall in the chaotic world, emitting a hazy luster and reflecting countless worlds. In the Hua Imperial Palace, a hazy figure draped in a golden and red long skirt swaying on the ground, with her gaze fixed on the vast expanse. Later, her red lips parted slightly and she said, Colorful, my destined disciple has appeared. You go to the wilderness and pick her up. Yes. Immediately, inside the Hua Palace, a colorful phoenix flew out, crossing the void and heading straight towards the wilderness. Mount Emei, this is Zhao Gongming's dojo. The majestic Mount Emei spans countless miles across the vast wilderness. A pale blue color surged and spread out, reaching the very end of the eye for hundreds of millions of miles. Looking up, through the mist, fairy mist, and layered clouds, the peaks of Mount Emei stand tall all the way up to the sky. On Mount Emei, the morning light and evening shade gather and diffuse with fairy mist, creating a stunning atmosphere. The vast fairy mist permeates the entire Emei mountain, and even the scorching sun cannot penetrate this dense fairy mist. Here is the dojo of a great Luo Jingxian. As soon as we reached the sky above Mount Emei, the sound of the system rang out, "Congratulations, Master. You have discovered a place where you can dig treasures." Upon hearing this, Yang Jiao's heart was filled with joy. Can Mount Emei also dig treasures? However, due to the fact that his master was still by his side, he had to press the urge to dig for treasure first. Immediately, Zhao Gongming brought Yang Jiao and Yang Chan to the main peak of Mount Emei. Then, Zhao Gongming looked at Yang Jiao and said, "Today, at Kunlun Mountain, I am taking you as my disciple. You should be aware that I have passed down the teachings from your ancestor, the sage of Shangqing. You are the third-generation disciple of the teachings. Since you have entered my sect, you must abide by the rules of the Zhijiao sect. If you harm your fellow disciples or commit heinous acts, as a teacher, you will be expelled from the sect." Yang Jiao knelt on the ground and nodded heavily, "I understand." Later, Zhao Gongming spoke again, "Today I will pass on your 9 transformations Xuangong, the Shangqing Immortal technique. One cultivates the body horizontally, while the other cultivates the spiritual essence, both of which are methods of cultivation. The 9 transformations Xuangong is passed down by all the disciples of Sanqing sect, but not many people practice it because it consumes too many treasures. As for the Shangqing Immortal method, it is the cultivation method passed down by your master, the Shangqing sage. My teacher suggests that you major in the Shangqing Immortal technique." Speaking, Zhao Gongming waved his hand and 2 streams of light flew into Yang Jiao's eyebrows. Yang Jiao felt that a lot of things suddenly came to his mind, and it was those 2 cultivation methods. With the cultivation method, he can also embark on the path of cultivation. "Thank you very much, Master." After roughly browsing through the 9 transformations Xuangong and the Shangqing Immortal technique in his mind, he couldn't help but feel a bit stunned. Undoubtedly, it is a cultivation method passed down by sages, and it is indeed not bad. However, Zhao Gongming's proposal for him to major in the Shangqing Immortal law was met with reservations. He is aware of the terror of the 9 transformations Xuangong. It seems that Yang Jian, the second younger brother of his family, majored in the 8-9 Xuangong, which originated from the 9 transformations Xuangong. With the 8-9 Xuangong, Yang Jian can become the invincible god of war in the heavenly court. The power of this 9 transformations Xuangong can be imagined. If you have obtained the cultivation method, you should have a good life of cultivation. Don't let me ruin my reputation by cutting off teachings." As he spoke, Zhao Gongming waved his hand again and a spiritual treasure appeared. "This item is also bestowed upon you. Lingbao the day after tomorrow." The innate spiritual treasure is rare, and the acquired spiritual treasure is already an extremely valuable treasure. Yang Jiao felt a little excited in his heart. This was the first treasure he had when he came to the wasteland world. At this moment, suddenly over Mount Emei, the void opened up and a crack slowly spread out. In that crack, a magnificent and majestic aura emanated, pressing towards Mount Emei. Quasi-holy power. Zhao Gongming instantly changed color, looked at the crack, without hesitation, and immediately burst into a breath. With a majestic momentum, resist the magnificent and majestic aura. At the same time, Zhao Gongming shouted loudly, "I don't know which senior came." Then, from the cracks in the void, a colorful phoenix flew out. Phoenix. That's a legendary creature that only exists. The Phoenix clan is one of the 3 major races in ancient times. During ancient times, it flourished and competed with the Kirin and Dragon clan for the position of the overlord of heaven and earth, both being ancient rulers. Unfortunately, after ancient times, the Phoenix clan has completely disappeared. I didn't expect to see a phoenix today. Colorful phoenix. Zhao Gongming naturally recognized this phoenix, which was the mount beside the Saint Nyuwa. But he had some doubts. Why did the Mount Emei descend on the well-mounted Mount Nyuwa of the sage Nyuwa? The colorful phoenix transformed into a young girl wearing colorful clothes and descended onto Mount Emei. Young generation Zhao Gongming, I have met Senior 7 colored. Even Zhao Gongming dared not disrespect the sage's mount. Zhao Gongming asked, I wonder why the senior came here. I came here on behalf of the sage Nyuwa. Speaking, in Zhao Gongming's stunned gaze, Qicai pointed at Yang Jian. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Refusing to learn from teachers. Shocked Zhao Gongming and Qicai. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Coming for Yang Jian. Zhao Gongming was confused and couldn't figure it out for a moment. Yang Jian is just an ordinary person, how could she have the Saint Nyuwa personally send a mount to come? What's going on here? Qicai calmly said, she has a connection with her master to accept disciples. The master has ordered me to come and take her to the Wa Palace to pay her respects. She is the biological disciple of the master destined by the heavenly way. Master, the bond between master and disciple. I personally pass it on to my disciple. Zhao Gongming was shocked and suddenly looked at Yang Jian, his eyes full of disbelief. He widened his eyes and stared carefully at Yang Jian, as if wanting to see what was different about her. Surprisingly, he was able to have the Saint Nyuwa personally accept her disciple. You should know that Yang Jian is just an ordinary person. But how did an ordinary person gain the favor of the goddess Nyuwa? This doesn't make sense at all. Zhao Gongming, full of surprise, could only attribute all of this to luck. You should know that the disciple passed down by the sage is a great opportunity for any living creature in the wilderness. Every saint's personal transmission has poured a lot of effort into it, and it is an extremely rare existence. Even his renowned senior brother from the outside sect, who is renowned for his martial arts skills, is not personally passed down by a saint. And this mortal little girl, surprisingly, could become a saint's personal transmission. Moreover, he is still a disciple of the sage Nyuwa, and it should be noted that there is not a single disciple under the sect of the sage Nyuwa. The sage Nyuwa has never accepted disciples in such a diverse society. Once she accepted her disciples, she was actually a mortal little girl, which really surprised Zhao Gongming. This is really a great opportunity, an incredible fortune. Compared to the stunning Zhao Gongming, Yang Jian remained much more calm. After all, he had long known that Yang Jian was destined to be a disciple of Nyuwa. His calmness made Qicai take a second look. However, at this moment, Yang Jian suddenly spoke timidly and said the most amazing thing in the gentlest tone. Can I not go to apprentice? Her idea is also very simple, she doesn't want to go apprentice. Once she became a disciple, she had to separate from her elder brother. She didn't want to leave Yang Jian, so she decisively refused the biggest and most amazing opportunity to look at the entire flood and wilderness. What? Zhao Gongming and Qicai did not expect to receive such a response. At this moment, both of them exclaimed in surprise, with all four eyes in shock. Surprisingly, there are still people who don't want to worship saints as teachers. This incredible opportunity, there are still people who don't want it. It seemed that no one had expected such a person. Zhao Gongming and Qicai widened their eyes and stared closely at Yang Jian. Yang Jian, on the other hand, was equally anxious in his heart. He naturally knew the great opportunity for the Saint Nyuwa to personally accept his disciples. But Yang Jian refused to apprentice, which made him a bit anxious. He didn't want to see his sister miss the opportunity like this. Yang Jian remembers clearly that Yang Jian was clearly learning from Nyuwa, so why would she refuse now? After thinking for a moment, he also understood that the reason for such a change was probably due to himself. On the original timeline, she should have died, so Yang Jian naturally did not worry and apprenticed to the sage and Yuhua. But now, she lives well and doesn't want to be separated from herself, so she chose to reject this great opportunity. Unable to do anything, Yang Jiao could only turn his head to look at Qicai and said, "Senior, please wait for me a moment." Then, he pulled Yang Jian aside. Yang Jian's delicate little face was full of anxiety. She restlessly stirred the corners of her clothes with her fingers and lowered her head, afraid to look at Yang Jiao. From the expressions of the two predecessors, she could probably guess that the immortal who wanted to take her as his disciple must be a very remarkable existence. Alternatively, the opportunity for the senior to accept his apprenticeship was extremely astonishing. But she would rather miss that amazing opportunity than be separated from her older brother. Big brother is her only relative anymore, and she doesn't want to lose him anymore. Yang Jiao looked at Yang Jian with a serious expression, took a deep breath, sorted his thoughts, and said, "Little sister, tell me honestly. Do you want to save your mother?" Yang Jian raised her head and remembered the sad and reluctant eyes of her mother when she was suppressed at the foot of that mountain. Suddenly, tears appeared in her eyes, and she nodded heavily. "Do you want to find your second brother?" Second brother. When Yang Jian was taken away by the Jade Immortal, his resolute face appeared before her. Yang Jian nodded again. "Then go with that senior," Yang Jiao said seriously. "Big brother knows, you don't want to separate from him." However, being taken in by that senior was a rare opportunity that everyone in the wilderness sought after. "Master, it can make you stronger. Only by becoming stronger can we save our mother and meet our second brother." Big brother. Yang Jian's eyes were full of reluctance, wanting to say something more. "Be obedient." Yang Jiao gently touched her head and said, "In the future, Big brother will personally take you to save your mother and find second brother, okay? Big brother won't lie to you." Speaking, Yang Jiao handed out his little finger, and Yang Jian also extended her finger. Two little fingers hooked together. "Let's pull the hook, our family will definitely be reunited." Under the persuasion of Yang Jiao, Yang Jian finally agreed to go to apprentice with Qicai. A young girl rides on a colorful phoenix and leaves with the wind. Yang Jiao reluctantly withdrew his gaze. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. Second treasure digging, Divine Elephant suppresses prison strength. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Retrieving his gaze, Yang Jiao let out a heavy sigh, and the last family member in the world was also sent away. Yang Jian left, and Zhao Gongming, who had obtained the precious medicine, naturally closed down and wanted to absorb it, advancing to the later stage of the Dalao Golden Immortal. Zhao Gongming closed down, leaving only Yang Jiao alone on Mount Emei, so he naturally planned to dig for treasures. When I first arrived at Mount Emei, the system prompted that it was possible to mine treasures. Now, he can finally dig for treasures and see what treasures are hidden in Mount Emei. Following the system's guidance, Yang Jiao arrived at a place where he could dig treasures. Like the first treasure hunt, a golden halo appeared on the land in front of him that only he could see. Congratulations, Master. You have discovered the 5-star treasure digging site. Before Yang Jiao could start digging for treasure, the sound of the system rang again. 5-star treasure trove. Yang Jiao was taken aback for a moment. There was no such prompt when he first dug for treasure. 5 stars, is it the level of a treasure trove? Yang Jiao, who was puzzled, asked the system in his heart, is there a hierarchical division in the treasure mining area? The system replied, the treasure trove is divided into 1 to 9 stars, and the level of the treasure varies depending on the level. Yang Jiao nodded clearly. The 5-star treasure digging site happened to be in the middle, indicating that what he had dug up this time should be a decent treasure. With curiosity, Yang Jiao began to dig for treasures. A golden shovel appeared in Yang Jiao's hand, and he vigorously dug it up. Fortunately, he didn't dig for long before a golden light appeared. The golden light shines out, rendering most of Mount Emei a majestic golden yellow. As the golden light slowly faded away, Yang Jian finally saw what he had dug up this time. It's a book. Surprisingly, it's a book. Yang Jian looked at the book incredulously, seeming somewhat shocked. The treasure unearthed from the 5-star treasure digging site is actually just a book. Books, as an ordinary thing, don't seem to match the charm of a 5-star treasure trove. Is it a system error in judgment? Maybe not. If it weren't for a system error, then there would only be one possibility. This book is definitely extraordinary, it must be some unusual treasure. Yang Jian couldn't wait to figure out what kind of book it was. Just as he was about to pick up that book. That book, however, turned into a stream of light and flew into Yang Jiao's mind. Immediately, 5 large characters composed of golden light came to mind in his mind. Divine Elephant suppresses imprisonment. Yang Jiao's eyes widened, his mouth couldn't close, and he was shocked. I didn't expect it to be this skill. The Divine Elephant suppresses prison power is a technique created by the Supreme Master among the Holy Kings, containing infinite power. This skill regards humans as countless tiny particles. Humans are made up of countless particles, and each particle can be cultivated into a divine image that can control the world. It contains the power of the divine image, shattering the sky and earth, shattering the Milky Way, and stopping talking. The most mysterious thing is that it can also have countless amazing powers, each of which contains infinite power and can suppress the entire world. This technique is powerful and mysterious, which is definitely a great opportunity for Yang Jian today. I didn't expect this seemingly ordinary book to be such a powerful martial arts technique. Yang Jian looked satisfied, truly worthy of being a 5-star treasure trove, and the things he dug out were truly extraordinary. However, in an instant, he thought of another question. This divine elephant's prison power is a cultivation technique in the Holy King's world, and does not belong to the primordial world. Can it be said that the system can allow itself to mine treasures from all heavens and all realms? As if hearing Yang Jiao's inner thoughts, the voice of the system rang out again. The treasure mining system is dedicated to serving its master, and can dig up treasures from all heavens and all worlds, all universes. Upon hearing this, Yang Jian became excited. That's really it. In the future, in the wilderness, one can possess the amazing treasures of the heavens and all worlds. 9 dragons pulling coffin, all things Mother Qi cauldron, He Hua Zzfa, 10 evil treasure techniques. The various treasures and techniques he had seen in his past life came to Yang Jiao's mind, and he couldn't help but become excited. System, awesome. After getting excited, he suddenly realized a problem. Although the Divine Elephant Prison Control Force and the techniques that may be obtained in the future are powerful, can these techniques be used in a world of chaos? Moreover, although those techniques are mysterious, they are relative to their world. After arriving in the wilderness, they won't turn into rags, will they? At this moment, the cold sound of the system rang out again. Ding! Discovering the power of the cultivation technique, Divine Elephant suppressing prison, automatically evolving and upgrading. Congratulations, Master. You have gained the power of Gongming prison control. Holy crap! Yang Jian was surprised and looked surprised. Unexpectedly, there was such a benefit. The system is really awesome. He quickly began to examine the evolved techniques. Gongming has the power to control the prison. He has made more than 400 million gods gel into 3,000 congenital gods and hid them in his body. 3,000 gods can have the same strength as the cultivators, and 3,000 gods can practice a rule in the future. Lying trough. Yang Jian took a deep breath, and the evolved Gongming prison control force was also too abnormal. If that's the case, wouldn't one person be equivalent to 3,000 people? Truly invincible in the same realm. Yang Jian was extremely excited and without hesitation, he immediately found a place on Mount Emei with abundant spiritual energy and began practicing. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. 1 year years, becoming an immortal is within reach. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. At the same time as Zhao Gongming closed his door and challenged his realm, Yang Jian was also striving to cultivate. The danger of floods and disasters lies in strength, which is the most reassuring reliance. Yang Jian understood this point, so he never wasted a moment trying to cultivate. Quickly, a year flew by. Yang Jian finally achieved some accomplishments in his cultivation. After a year of hard work, he successfully stepped into the realm of refining qi and transforming gods. The realm of practice in the wilderness can be roughly divided into two realms. Immortal and mortal. Those who have not yet attained enlightenment and become immortals belong to mortal alchemists, and such alchemists are all in the mortal realm. The mortal realm can be roughly divided into four realms. Refining essence to transform qi, refining qi to transform spirit, refining spirit to return to emptiness, and refining emptiness to merge with the Tao. Refining essence and transforming qi, refining a mouthful of innate qi in the chest, and starting with this innate qi, begin the path of cultivation. Refining qi and transforming spirit. In the chest and body, 100 qi gather and transform into the primordial spirit. The primordial spirit will not be destroyed, and the cultivator will not die. Refining the spirit to return to emptiness, gathering the spirit as the god, merging the spirit into the Tao, using the upper elixir to return, and then transcending, warming and nourishing the yang spirit until it exits the body, reversing the acquired innate nature. Refining the void harmony Tao is the final step in cultivating the mortal realm, breaking free from the mortal body, transforming into an immortal body, merging with the heavenly Tao, and transforming into an immortal. The fairyland includes several major realms. Earth Immortal, Heavenly Immortal, True Immortal, Xian Immortal, Golden Immortal, Tai Golden Immortal, Dalao Golden Immortal, and Quasi-Holy. Above the Quasi-Saint is the realm of the Hunyuan Holy Realm, which has transcended the realm of immortality, towering above, untainted by dust, omniscient and omnipotent. Looking at the entire wilderness, there are only 6 saints of the heavenly way. The Sage of the Heavenly Way is an indescribable realm, where all living beings can only look up to those 6 lofty saints and dare not blaspheme them. Saints, as long as they recite their true name, can perceive it even beyond the infinite void. This is the terror that exists in the mixed realm. As for the Hunyuan Holy Realm, there is only the teacher of the 6 saints of the Heavenly Way, the Taoist ancestor who resides in seclusion in the Lingxiao Palace. However, the sage is already an unattainable existence for countless beings in the vast wilderness. As for the Hongjun Taoist ancestor, he exists even more in the clouds. In just 1 year, Yang Jian rose from a powerless mortal to the realm of refining qi and transforming gods, and his talent was quite good. As Yang Jian stepped into the realm of refining qi and transforming into a divine being, the immortal aura permeated and became increasingly concentrated on Mount Emei. And, there is an increasingly powerful aura surging at the top of Mount Emei. Finally, on this day, a powerful aura erupted, roaring in the 9 heavenly clouds, and the entire Emei mountain instantly shook. Like an earth dragon flipping over, the entire expanse of Mount Emei, stretching for billions of miles, vibrates together, and its roar resounds through the heavens and earth. That powerful aura surged into the sky, shattering the layers of clouds and even tearing the entire sky apart. The fairy mist of Mount Emei rolls and the mountains tremble, seemingly echoing the astonishing terrifying aura. This astonishing aura instantly woke Yang Jian up. He quickly woke up, thinking it was an enemy attack, but sensing the familiar aura, he instantly felt relieved that it was the master's aura. Such an amazing aura and the ability to create such a grand scene is probably due to the master's successful breakthrough. He estimated in his heart that he would get up from the cave where he practiced and go to the main peak of Emei to pay his respects to Zhao Gongming. As expected, upon reaching the main peak of Mount Emei, one can see a figure standing at the top of the mountain, dressed in a wide robe and swaying with long sleeves. Zhao Gongming stood at the top of Mount Emei facing the wind, and all the anomalies in the sky converged, as if they had never appeared before. Zhao Gongming was dressed in a broad robe, standing on the mountaintop. His sleeves made a sound of hunting in the wind, and his 3-inch beard was also fluttering in the wind under his jaw. He had a restrained aura all over his body, as ordinary as an ordinary person, but only those who were also standing on the clouds of the cultivation path could perceive the amazing strength hidden in him. The terrifying power to tear apart the sky and split open the earth. Yang Jian looked at the figure and knew in his heart that it was indeed the master who had left the level. Zhao Gongming had an uncontrollable sense of joy on his face. After putting in a lot of effort, I finally got promoted. Moreover, it was not just an ordinary promotion. With that 7-colored treasure medicine, he stepped over the later stage of the Great Luo Golden Immortal and became a complete disciple of the Great Luo Golden Immortal. The Luo Jin Xian is already at the pinnacle of many cultivators walking on the vast land. Going further up is the quasi-holy realm. There are many quasi-saints in the wilderness, almost none of which are ancient powers. The Luo Jin Xian is perfect, only one step away from the quasi-saint. However, at this step, I don't know how many creatures have been trapped, and how many talented creatures have failed to advance to the quasi-holy realm. Of course, this is not something Zhao Gongming needs to consider at the moment. He, who had successfully entered the Golden Immortal of Dalao, is now full of ambition and in a good mood. Yang Jian stepped forward and said, "I pay my respects to Master and congratulate him on his promotion." "It's Yang Jian." Zhao Gongming noticed Yang Jian with a smile on his face and noticed his cultivation. He nodded and praised him. "Not bad, you entered the realm of transforming gods in just 1 year. You did a great job." Before Yang Jian could speak, 3 breaths emerged from the void not far away. Yang Jian looked up. In an instant, those 3 breaths transformed into 3 figures and descended on Mount Emei. Looking at Zhao Gongming again, he was not at all angry at the arrival of the unexpected guest, but instead had a genuine smile on his face. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. 3 Heavenly Fairies, Turning the Golden Elixir. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The 3 figures descended upon Mount Emei, gradually revealing their figures as 3 women. These 3 women are all extremely beautiful, with a feeling of transcendence from the mundane world, and they are all stunning. The 3 of them, dressed in white, blue, and purple respectively, were graceful in shape, curling up. If you look closely, you will also find that the faces of these 3 women seem to be somewhat similar. But the temperament between their respective eyebrows is completely different. One is mature and steady, the other is calm and tranquil, and the other is lively and agile. These 3 women seem to be sisters. Not only are they extremely beautiful in appearance, but they also emit an astonishing and powerful aura. The 3 sisters, who are powerful and beautiful, also appear in Mount Emei, and are related to Zhao Gongming. Looking at the entire wilderness, Yang Jian could only think of 3 people. He was moved in his heart. Could it really be those 3? The next moment, Zhao Gongming looked at the 3 women with a smile on his face. He quickly stepped forward and said with a smile, "3 girls, why do you remember coming to Big Brother's place?" Sure enough. Zhao Gongming's sister, isn't she just San Shao? These 3 women who seem to be sisters in front of me are really San Shao. San Shao is an extraordinary existence. You should know that in the Fengshen Yang Jian, San Shao held a golden dragon scissor and a mixed yuan golden bucket, cutting off the 3 flowers on the heads of the 12 golden immortals and the 5 qi in their chests, turning their countless years of hard work into one. If it weren't for the sage's action, San Shao wouldn't have been defeated. The sisters of San Shao, who were only 3, were able to explain the 12 golden immortals. The 12 sages were handed down by themselves, and they could not fight back. Is it okay for someone like this to not rush to hold on to their thighs? Yang Jiao's eyes lit up as he pondered how to establish a good relationship with these 3 martial uncles. Upon hearing Zhao Gongming's words, San Shao smiled slightly and, dressed in white, with mature and indifferent eyebrows, spoke up, "Our siblings haven't discussed together for a long time." Therefore, the 3 of them came to Emei Mountain to discuss with their elder brother. Unexpectedly, I met my older brother who successfully broke through and was promoted to Dalai Lama, but it was just right. Upon hearing this, Zhao Gongming laughed heartily and said, "Those 3 girls came coincidentally. Big brother, I happen to break through and need to discuss and consolidate my cultivation." Big brother's breakthrough in cultivation must have brought us a lot of insights, and we can also be considered lucky. Wearing purple clothes, Bixiao looked lively and smiled at Zhao Gongming. With my elder brother's cultivation experience, it will be much easier for us to break through the Great Luo Circle in the future. Qiongxiao, who had never spoken, noticed Yang Jiao standing aside and frowned slightly. Immortal. A puzzled expression appeared in her beautiful eyes. How could a mortal appear in Big Brother's dojo? Why haven't you heard from Big Brother? Brother, who is this? Zhao Gongming looked at Yang Jiao and smiled, saying, "I forgot to tell you. This is my newly recruited disciple, Yang Jiao, who was also your nephew a few days ago. Speaking of which, Big Brother, I was able to break through my cultivation and achieve a successful promotion to the Great Luo Golden Immortal, thanks to my disciple. If it weren't for him giving me the 7-colored treasure medicine, I wouldn't have been able to successfully enter the Great Luo Golden Immortal." Upon hearing Zhao Gongming's words, San Zhao's gaze softened a lot. Big Brother's disciple is naturally their junior. Not to mention, the 7-colored treasure medicine offered by Yang Jiao greatly helped Big Brother to advance to the Luo and achieve success. San Shao had a clear sense of gratitude and resentment. After hearing Zhao Gongming finish speaking, he was already extremely satisfied with Yang Jiao. Although the realm is lower, being able to give up the precious medicine is a testament to one's childlike heart. This disciple is quite good. San Shao nodded one after another, as if acknowledging Yang Jiao. Zhao Gongming then introduced San Shao to Yang Jiao. These are the 3 sisters of the Master, who are also the Master's junior sisters and disciples of the Heavenly Sage. They are your senior uncles. This is your uncle Yun Shao, this is your uncle Qiongxiao, and this is your uncle Bixiao. Zhao Gongming introduced San Shao to Yang Jiao one by one. Yang Jiao paid respects to 3 senior uncles one by one. Yun Shao and Qiongxiao both nodded slightly, with a faint and reserved smile on their faces. On the contrary, the most lively Bixiao looked at Yang Jiao with a smile and said, "This young nephew is really good looking." Yang Jiao's head was immediately covered in black lines, unsure of what to say. Yun Shao helplessly supported his forehead and scolded softly, "You are at least an elder, without any appearance of an elder." But Bixiao just stuck out her tongue. "3 girls, it's my first time meeting your nephew. Shouldn't I give you some gift for the meeting?" Zhao Gongming smiled and looked at San Shao. Yun Shao nodded and said, "It should be." Subsequently, she took out a golden pill from her sleeve, emitting a strong fairy aura. This is a golden pill refined by the Supreme Sage. Although the grade is not high, it happens to be useful to you. Yang Jiao also knew that at his current level, he could still eat the golden elixir with just a twist. If you take the second transformation golden pill, you might be able to burst it for yourself. So he quickly took the golden pill and said, "Thank you very much, Master Yun Shao, for giving me the treasure." The meeting gift that Qiong Shao gave to Yang Jiao was an aggressive acquired spiritual treasure. As for Bixiao, he gave Yang Jiao a talisman. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. Taking the one-turn golden pill and awakening 3000 microparticles. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After receiving the 3-night greeting gift, Yang Jian naturally laughed so hard that his mouth couldn't even close. San Shao also smiled and looked at Yang Jiao, his nephew. Zhao Gongming was also extremely delighted to see this joyful scene. Immediately, Zhao Gongming and San Shao entered Zhao Gongming's cave to discuss the Tao. Yang Jiao, come with me and your senior uncles. Upon hearing this, Yang Jiaoxin was overjoyed. Both Master and Uncle San Shao were powerful in the wilderness. Their discourse naturally benefits him greatly. Although such a powerful discourse is bound to be profound, it also means that it is a great opportunity for Yang Jiao. He quickly followed up. For great masters of the wilderness sat and discussed the Tao, while Yang Jiao sat cross-legged on the side. The sound of the Tao entered his ears, and its charm lingered, not daring to slack off at all. Quickly, the divine light inside the cave shone brightly, and various visions appeared one after another. A vast fairy mist burst forth, and the fairy energy turned into countless strands, falling from the sky like rain. There are also 10,000 golden lotus flowers blooming together, shining brilliantly for a moment, reflecting on the cave, with a lingering and rich Taoist charm. The Taoist divine light emitted an astonishing aura, flowing within the cave and reflecting on San Shao and Zhao Gongming. On them, there is a majestic aura circulating, and the sound of the Tao rises and falls slowly into their bodies. Yang Jiao did his best to listen to their preaching and wrote down everything he could. Quickly, he entered a mysterious realm, and he listened with ecstasy, even shedding tears without realizing it. If you hear the Tao in the morning, you may die in the evening. There is no time in the mountains, and no armor in the cave. A person of practice is naturally not afraid of the passage of time. Quickly, without realizing it, another 3 years of time quietly passed by. San Shao and Zhao Gongming finished their discourse, and San Shao also bid farewell and left. At the top of Mount Emei, Zhao Gongming waved goodbye to San Shao and said, "Sister, come and take a walk around Mount Emei when you have free time." San Shao nodded naturally, then stepped on the clouds and slowly disappeared into the end of the void. Zhao Gongming withdrew his gaze, somewhat reluctant to part. His most important thing is emotions. San Shao is his sister, who has been with him for the longest time in this world. He naturally takes care of San Shao to the extreme. At this moment, Yang Jiao was still digesting everything he had heard before when San Shao and Zhao Gongming discussed with him. Undoubtedly, it is the preaching of the great power of the Dalai Lama. Yang Jiao felt some emotion in his heart. The teachings of San Shao and Zhao Gongming have benefited him immensely. In just 3 years of listening to the teachings, he gained a lot and successfully broke through the process of refining Qi and transforming gods, entering the realm of refining gods and returning to emptiness. Even in the realm of refining gods, he walked a long distance. Not only that, he also sensed the presence of 3000 particles within his own body. Originally, after listening to the teachings, his cultivation should have skyrocketed, not just staying here. However, due to the presence of 3000 particles, it took away many insights and gains, which led him to only stay in the realm of refining gods and returning to the void. However, even so, Yang Jiao still felt it was worth it. If he awakens 3000 particles, his combat power will surely soar. That's not just about improving one's realm. And if these 3000 particles eventually grow into 3000 gods, they will be 3000 themselves, with combined power and invincibility in the same realm, even able to fight higher levels. After seeing off for 3 nights, Zhao Gongming returned to his own cave. And Yang Jiao returned to his own cave to continue his cultivation. He still hasn't used the golden pill given by Yunxiao. I don't know if taking this one-turn golden pill can help him break through to the realm of refining void and combining Tao. If San Shao were here and knew his thoughts, he would probably laugh to death. Looking at the entire wilderness, no one knows that the elixir of the Supreme Sage is a precious treasure. Swallowing a golden pill into my stomach, my life is determined by me, not by heaven. What is being said is the golden pill of the Supreme Sage. Although it may seem like a spinning golden pill, if placed in the wilderness, it can also cause many creatures to break their heads. This is a pill personally crafted by the Supreme Sage with heavenly materials and earthly treasures. The medicinal power contained in it is incredibly pure. Not to mention the limited cultivation of the Void Harmony Tao, after taking it, one can become an immortal on the ground. Young Zhao is still worried about whether he can break through to the realm of Hadao, but he really doesn't have much insight. Taking the one-turn golden pill, pure medicinal power instantly emanated from the elixir field, and immediately flowed throughout the body with the circulation of qi and body, penetrating all limbs and bones, and the 8 extraordinary meridians. A faint warmth also appeared on Yang Jiao's face. Inside him, small particles emerged one after another, drifting through his body. Upon closer inspection, it can be observed that the medicinal power of Yizhuan Golden Pill is divided into 2 parts. Part of it flows into the Dantian, while the other part flows into countless small particles. Another 3 years have passed. A deep roar finally came from within the cave, and the breath shook for a moment. Yang Jiao slowly opened his eyes and exhaled a mouthful of turbid qi, successfully breaking through to the realm of refining the void and merging the Tao. This is not the most surprising yet. The bigger surprise was inside him. Within Yang Jiao's body, 3,000 particles were arranged in a floating and static manner, each emitting an astonishing aura. These 3,000 particles, each one can unleash impressive combat power. Originally, turning the golden pill could lead Yang Jiao into a fairyland, but due to the incorporation of some medicinal powers into 3,000 particles, he awakened 3,000 particles, so he ultimately stopped in the realm of Hadao. But in Yang Jiao's view, it is not at a disadvantage. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.